Hey everyone, Cardboard.Capitan here, and today I want to mix it up with something a little different. Now, one day there was some downtime on the Magic Ladder, so I decided to play something else, and today I'm playing Tangledeep. Now, it's a game I used to play a lot back in the day, but I never was too good at it because it's a pretty difficult game. It's a roguelike in the style of a mystery dungeon, and now you can pick different classes, get abilities and passives, and go from there. And you just climb the floors, find treasure, improve the treasure, and so on. And in the early game, you're just trying to um, get character progress. Now, the character I'm playing right now is called a brigand. And I usually go to it first because it has some of the best escape abilities. Um, so you can get better placement for your character and avoid attacks. And I'm going to a hunter because a hunter has strong attacks, strong AoE. Now with this build, I'm planning to go on a crit build. Whenever you level up, you have the option to get some extra bonus points to one character attribute, and luck is guile in this game, and that affects your crit chance, power up, drop rate, and so on. And if this game looks interesting to you, I mean, I'm playing it at 16 times the speed because the original playthrough like a couple of hours, but at 16 speed, 30 minutes for a normal playthrough. There's 3 difficulties: normal, new game plus, and savage land. There's also boss fights like you see here. With this first boss, you want to do a lot of AoE, and this early on in the game, a lot of the AoE you get are from your items. I think I went AFK there to go get a drink or so on. So I've got a whip and a bow right now equipped. I think this is gonna be my endgame setup in terms of weaponry. With whips, they do AoE damage, and they have a constrict effect if you crit with them, so that means that the enemy will take damage over time each turn. Bows. Now there's 2 types of bows in this game. There's a crossbow and a traditional bow. Crossbows have shorter range but tend to do more damage. You also can equip quivers with these bows, and those add to the power of the bow itself. In terms of other equipment, this early on I'm trying to get more damage to my main attacks. My main attacks are going to be Ice Arrow, which is it deals damage to the first enemy in line of sight. And once I go to the next class, there's a point and click ice ability there. So that's that 4 slot is going to be Ice Arrow, and it does quite a bunch of damage. I also have Rain of Arrows. That's the AoE ability. However, with Rain of Arrows, it takes a wind-up time of 1 round. Let's see. So this early on in the game, I'm just trying to build up a surplus of casino tokens. Casino tokens is a currency used in the casino, and what's cool about the casino is it tends to have a much higher rarity of items, so I try to build up a supply of casino tokens whenever I get a chance, because every so often the shops at the casino rotate, so you might end up losing a build-defining item, for example. Now here, I'm doing what's known as an item dream. If you ever play Disgaea, you have an idea what it is, but the basic idea is you can improve the stats of an item by providing an orb that has a prefix or a suffix to that item. So I think here I'm just trying to get more desired prefixes and suffixes. You can do that by sacrificing an item and some lucid orbs. No, I take that back. Just the regular orbs, and you get some lucid orb shards. 3 of those lucid orb shards turn into a lucid orb of the prefix or suffix that you wanted, right? Now, the only thing I really worry about here in this cave, those war snakes are ice immune, so my ice arrow doesn't do much damage. I still have a bunch of magic items in terms of armor, but I've got some good weaponry here. With whips... Oh, wait, boss fight. So with this boss fight, again, you know, focus on the AoE. Like you just saw that 3x3 square just knock out 3 of them. You have to watch out for the spinning blades that they do, because those tend to do a lot of damage. But going back to my weapons, okay, I also changed class. This class is a wild child. It's kind of like the blue mage of this game. You learn different skills when enemies use them on you, and I've got my ice spike, or ice spit rather, so I can use that. Now, going back to what I was talking about with the weapons, some of the prefixes and suffixes do better than the others. So with the whip, there's some known as sapping, and that causes the enemies to do less damage when they get crit. And since I'm focusing on crit in this build, I see that as a great suffix or prefix modifier. Let's see, that's day 2. Let's see. Now with campfires, you can either rest to restore your health, mana, and health, energy, and stamina, or you can make campfire items. I tend to use the time to make campfire items because they're important when you're like in a critical situation. They tend to do flat healing and for a large amount. Now this side dungeon, I'm gonna get another good, decent weapon. For doing this side quest, delivering a letter to this female bandit, you get Bezo's crossbow, and it has a chance of dealing charm, or doing charm, when you hit the enemy. So it's decent. So Chemist's Bezo's crossbow. There you go. Okay, so I also want you to notice that in the top left, you can see where it says tricky. That gives you an idea of the difficulty of the floors. Generally, tricky is the highest you want to go. There's also hard and very hard and impossible, and those are usually a sign of, hey, you shouldn't be there right now. Go level up some, right? So, okay, so I have 2 frost rings. The frost rings provide I believe 15% more water and ice damage. So with those two accessories, I'm dealing 30% more water damage. Okay, and I've got a new yellow quiver. I think here I'm just doing item dreams to level up my equipment before I reach the end game of this difficulty. Okay, yeah, and I'm also using this NPC to improve my weapon skills. I think I'm trying to get some money for something. Yeah, gamble. Okay. I don't have enough to gamble, unfortunately. Also, something I want to note: the aesthetic of the game. It's very true to the 16-bit style you might see on the SNES. Because I'm running this so quickly right now, you don't get to hear the music. It's very nice. They offer a soundtrack to the game, but now check out the game. It's on Steam. It's been out for a while. There's a couple of DLC. The developer is already working on their next game, but this is a deceptively difficult game. I mean, I'm playing in normal right now, so it's not too hard, but again, there's 3 difficulties. And let's see. Yeah, I'm just whacking stuff. Yeah, there's 3 difficulties, and it gets exponentially harder as you go up them. Right now, I'm making it look easy because I've got like my end game skills of Ice Spit and Ice Missile. I'm just cruising through, killing creatures, getting loot. Okay, get more campfire meat. Oh, those golems, they also throw rocks, and that's a learnable skill. So that was a good find by me. Now with this side quest, whenever you sell white items, normal items, you can buy them back with a modifier, and this is great if you're trying to optimize your items through item dreams. Now, the creatures here can be difficult, but I take them out pretty easily. So you'll see me stop by every so often whenever I have a bunch of white items to sell them back to the NPC. Now, okay, so I think I'm about to go into a boss fight, so I'm doing my prep work. I don't feel comfortable fighting just yet, so that's why I go back a floor and just fight a little bit. Yeah, I think I'm going for level 11. No, take it back. Level 12. I'm about 300 XP off. As far as game, okay, so I just leveled up. As far as gameplay goes, the basic idea is to lead off with Ice Spit because you get a spirit bonus when you use it. And then I'll usually go into Ice Arrow if I'm in position, or regular attacks, or if I'm fighting a group of creatures, I'll go Terrain of Arrows. Now, sometimes there's enemies that'll jump on you, and I have a few skills that will reposition my character. You'll see that on 1, 2, and 5, and 7. Now, since this is a bowman type character, generally I want to be far away from the creatures or from the enemies. But let me go into this boss fight. So the basic idea here is there's some enemy generators and this giant robot that I have to fight. So I do quick work of it. Okay, so I think, yeah, whenever you see me play slow like that, I'm like, oh, am I gonna die next turn, right? So it helps to stop and think about what you're doing next turn. So, okay, so I have a lucid orb of elemental bolts, and what's cool about that, the modifier means that whenever you use an elemental skill, there's a 33% chance of firing an elemental arrow of the last element of the last used elemental skill. So since I'm continuously using ice elemental skills, I can focus on adding to the ice damage. Now, keep in mind, there are enemies that resist ice or are flat out immune to ice. But this early on in the game, it's good. You deal a whole lot of damage with it. I also picked up Arrow Storm, and it's kind of like Rain of Arrows in that it'll provide an AoE effect, but it also does a lot of damage after some wind up to it. So what you'll see me do is use Rain of Arrows or Arrow Storm, and then Stone Toss to stun the enemy, or if I know the enemy tends to stay in place to use some of its abilities, I'll do that. Okay, so this is just another EXP side quest. I don't think there's anything too exciting in the abandoned facility. So I'm just picking up treasure, picking up loot. I think with normal, my goal is to get to level 14. Or level 15. And that's where the level I'm comfortable at to fight the final boss of this difficulty. Okay, so this is the final room. Well, once I heal up, the final room before the final boss. Now, while you have the option to go straight into the final room to fight the boss, you can do these side quests to reduce the power of the final boss. So that's what I usually do. Right now I'm just Okay, yeah, so I'm adding a modifier now. The wolf means I do more damage if I have no summons beside me. So there you go. And I'm just making some healing items. You can cook in this game. Alright, day 3. Okay, so side quest time. Yeah, so I was getting jumped entering that room, so I decided to just peace out for a bit. So in this room, there's enemy generators that you want to destroy, or else they'll produce little sentries. I think the most dangerous enemy in this area are those archers, because they tend to do a lot of single target damage. A lot of the enemies, if you position yourself well, you don't take much damage from. But with those enemies, okay, so you see how I had a red arrow on the side of my character? That's kind of like if you play League of Legends and you're familiar with Fiora, you take more damage if the enemy attacks that side of you. So they have high single target damage, and that damage gets increased further if they attack that vulnerable side. Now, with those lucid orbs, not only do they provide modifiers to the weapon itself, they also provide modifiers to the skill, to certain skills. So here, I'm trying to get a modifier that'll change one of my abilities from a stun to a bleed. Well, let's see. I think here I'm going for spiritual, which is more spirit. I don't think that's the best choice, because spirit really only affects ice spit, the skill, but a lot of my abilities depend on dexterity and guile. Now, guile, that increases your crit chance. Dexterity affects damage you deal with a bow, as well as your crit damage multiplier. Now with this room, there's crystals that explode, those purple crystals, and those turrets that shoot out lasers. So, you know, it's a slow process, but I'm just trying not to take too much damage. So here, the whip's useful because it does AoE damage, so you see me using it here. Yeah, and this robot is a big bad, easily taken out. Alright. I got a Night Shield, which is good. What am I doing next? Oh, trying to get more modifiers, okay. Okay, so I'm getting another modifier for a Frost Ring. So, something you might see in these item dreams are those gold frogs. If you kill them, they give you a bunch of gold. Generally, with those item dreams, if I don't feel threatened by the area, they're good to explore because they have good items. You also have a chance of getting more flask charges, so you can heal more. More gambling. Oh, and I get a pre-pre ribbon. So what's cool about the pre-pre ribbon is that whenever you use an ability that requires stamina, you can produce energy, and whenever you produce energy, or whenever you consume energy, you produce stamina. So, nope. Okay, so yeah, you can see my pointer. So that green and that blue at the bottom, that's your stamina and your energy, and generally, stamina is used for your movement abilities, and energy is used for your offensive abilities. Nope. Nope. Alright, so I just beat the mini boss of the area. Alright, selling more stuff, seeing what I can get. Now, if you ever play Diablo or any other, I guess, loot-based action RPG, you know there's junk you find. So, you gotta sell those. Fortunately, I don't believe there's an item inventory limit, so you can carry a lot of junk with you. Oh yeah. Oh. Also worth noting, there's floor hazards. So with this one, you saw some lava. With water, if you stand on water, there's less of a chance for a ranged attack to hit you, and that can be used by your character or by enemies. Let's see, I'm on the 5th floor of an item dream. Generally, item dreams are 5 to 6 floors. They go up as you increase in level. And on the final floor, there's a Dream King you kill to get your improved item back. Okay, so I tried this stream of dungeons. I'm like, these enemies are too tough, so I just peace out on that. Let's see. Okay, so also, there's trials that each class can do to get emblems for their class. There's 3 levels of emblems: bronze, silver, and gold, and with each level of the emblem, you get a passive that you can use to improve your character, as well as stats to improve your character. So I think that's something I want to do before I fight the final boss. I did the bronze level, but Now I still got 2 side areas to go through, so I'm gonna finish those and then wrap up any side quests I have, and then get those emblems. Let's see. Okay, so bubble. I'm going for the modifier bubble, and what's cool about it is when your health reaches like a certain percentage, then you get a shield. Now, the shield can be useful sometimes, but what really helps there is a sound cue that comes through, and that means, oh, maybe this enemy is too tough. Let me reassess the situation, right? Get out of there if I need to. So yeah. So normal, again, it's gonna take you probably the longest because of the large amount of side quests, and you're trying to get good equipment for your build. And I'd say the second 2 difficulties are more about optimization of your character, min-maxing your equipment, and so on. Also, in the item dreams, sometimes you get dream items like you saw dream brews and so on, and those are usable only in the dream, but once you leave, those items disappear. Now here I'm taking my time, just because these green frogs, they can jump you hard, and you take a whole lot of damage in one turn. So, okay, so I survive, and I'm greedy, so I'm just trying to get more items. I don't see anything too cool in the casino. Don't see anything too cool there. Okay, so I think here, this is where I try to finish the trials. Another thing to note is that even though I have skills from the archer and other classes, you can only use the skills from the wild child class in this case. Now, fortunately, I do have some good skills like frog leap that's good for repositioning, ice spit that's my main damage ability, and I have some other abilities that can deal damage. So while I can make it through the game, or through this portion of the game, it's not too optimized because I don't have all the options available to me. I think with this trial, yeah, okay, it's done. Do I go back to going for the final boss? No, I think I'm fixing back my stats and so on. See, the thing is, once you do those emblem trials, you have to de-equip any passives that aren't of the trial that you're going through, so I had to make sure I do that before proceeding. Alright, final boss time. Let's go. Okay, so the first form's not too hard with Ice Arrow and Ice Spit. Not too hard either. I've got a lot of point and click damage. Easy right now, right? So that's normal difficulty. Um, and then the end credits, and then you get this option of, hey, do you want to do New Game Plus? And I believe I do that. And play a little bit. And right now I'm just seeing, oh, how hard is it so far? And, you know, it's not too hard. Right now I'm just trying to replenish some of my supplies, kill some enemies. But, you know, smooth sailing right now. Oh, and let me talk about those gold chests too. Now, those gold chests are what's known as Pandora's boxes. You can open them to get a rare item, but they also make the enemies stronger, so I tend to avoid them. But they're good if you have a risky playstyle. Right. I'm about to level up to 16, so I'm fighting some enemies down here just to level up, get some more power. Oh, also with the I'm about to say nightmare or cruel difficulty. Um, you take more damage from that modifier you saw. Alright, and that's the second time you're fighting the first boss, so I think I wrapped up here. I'm just doing some whatchamacallit, some item getting. And yeah. Normal playthrough of Tangledeep, so with that said, now this is just something I'm trying out. I'll mix it up for magic for a bit. I'm still on the magic grind, but you know, I like to play some other games sometimes, and if I can help out showcase an interesting game that people enjoy watching, you know, it's cool. You can find me on Twitter, formerly known as X, actually known as X. Cardboard.Capitan, Moxfield. If you play Magic, you know what it is. That's my username on there. And on that note, I will see you next time. Bye.